Hey guys, Gaston with Rough Country, about to install our 3.5-inch kit on this 2019 Toyota Tacoma. Now what you may not realize or even know, when we shoot a full install, it can take 3 to 4 times as long as the actual install time because we have to worry about lighting the shot and if the camera goes out of focus and can you see my hand where it is. Well, today we're gonna do a time lapse and we're gonna show a real-time install. Now, I've got the advantage of a lift and power tools, but this really is a simple lift to install that you can do at home, in your garage, or even your driveway with a floor jack, some jack stands, and a little bit of time. So the race is on. We're gonna start the time lapse and I'm gonna get these tires off this truck and install this lift. Let's go. All right, the truck is up in the air, removing the factory wheels and tires, pretty straightforward. Gonna get those over and have the 33s mounted on them. Next, I'm gonna remove the struts. To do that, I need to unhook the sway bar on both sides. We'll go ahead and unseat and remove the steering tie rods on both sides, as well as the upper control arm in preparation to remove those. Once I got that, I'll go ahead and pull the struts out. Now the longest part and the most difficult part of this install is getting this upper control arm bolt out. It can be done, but you do have to manipulate that pinch weld, and by manipulate, I mean bend. This is because the chassis and suspension is built and then the body's set on top of it. So they don't really make accommodations to get that bolt out, but it can be done. And once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and put the lifted strut in, as well as the Rough Country upper control arm, and then reassemble the sway bar as well as the tie rod links. I had one that was spinning on me, and here in a second you'll see I'll actually lower the truck down onto a jack stand to put a little bit of pressure on that tie rod, and then it tightens up just fine right there. So what I'm doing there. All right, once I get that done, the front end is assembled. We'll go ahead and pull the skid plate off, and you see some sparks flying there where I'm clearancing the brace. Then we will put the diff spacers in and go ahead and drop that diff down and then reinstall the skid plate. Next, we're moving on to the back. I've got a jack stand in the front just to counter the fact that I'm gonna lose some weight when I pull the rear end off of the rear leaf springs. I've got that sitting on stands as well. We'll go ahead and pull the factory leaves and leave the rear hanger on. It's just easier to do that. I'll do that on both sides. Once I've got that, I'll remove the hanger completely and install it on the Rough Country lifted rear leaf. Then we'll reassemble. Now on the driver's side, for some reason I decided to go ahead and mount the leaf to the axle and then position the leaf onto the frame. Learn from my mistake. It's easier to install the leaf onto the frame and position the axle. So put the leaf on and then add the axle. That's the easiest way to do it. Next, we'll go ahead and replace the factory shocks with the Rough Country N3s. And now it's just a matter of putting these tires on. Once we get them on, we'll set it on the ground and it'll be good to go. All right, let's step back and take a look. Man, talk about minimal effort, maximum result. A 3.5-inch lift, adding 33 1250s to the factory rim. And now the owner did supply wheel spacers to make sure everything clears. And after we remove the front valence, we have no rubbing issues. This truck looks phenomenal. Installation was simple, took maybe 3.5 hours total. That's with taking breaks and answering a couple of phone calls and just taking my time. Now I do have the advantage of the lift and power tools. So if you're doing this installation at home, I would allot a full weekend just so you don't feel rushed and you take your time and you get everything completed. After that, all you need to do is get it to the alignment shop and you'll be good to go. As you can see, you don't have to break the bank to have your truck look awesome. 3.5-inch lift, factory wheels, 33s, and this thing is sitting pretty. So if you've got a Tacoma or any other truck, Jeep, or side-by-side, be sure to check out roughcountry.com for all the accessories. Until next time, I'm Gaston.